Well, guys, we all know that some YouTubers will do anything to go viral. I guess this guy has taken it too far. 30-year-old Trevor Daniel Jacobs. This is a YouTuber who created a moment, a situation, got in his plane, and deliberately crashed the plane and was videotaping the entire thing. Well, guess what? He landed up in jail as a result. Let's examine it. Hit the like bell, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the video. Thank you for the likes. I greatly appreciate it. Now let's get into the video. So according to CNN, YouTuber gets 6 months in federal prison for staging small plane crash. He jumped out of his plane deliberately for it to crash, and he admitted it. He didn't just admit it because he had to clear his conscience. He was caught lying to the feds. I guess he wanted a viral video. You know, that's a YouTuber's dream, to go viral. Well, this YouTuber was no exception to the rule. So Trevor Daniel Jacob admitted to intentionally crashing his plane, which was equipped with multiple cameras to capture its demise on video. So he had these cameras all over the plane and was recording. So when the plane crashed, he had the video footage that he needed to put on YouTube. But you do have to be careful what you post, because we know the internet is being policed by federal officials, CIA officials, police department, you name it. Everybody's watching. Big Brother is watching. So when people put up all these videos doing all kinds of nefarious things, people are watching. The government is watching. So he put it on YouTube that he had crashed his plane. And guess what? The feds came knocking. So prosecutors said he posted this, "I crashed my plane." That was the caption on YouTube to promote a sponsorship with a wallet company. So he thought he had pulled it off, staging this crashing of the plane. And nobody would be the wiser, but some viewers were very suspicious of the stunt, because they noticed he was already wearing a parachute before he made the attempt to jump. He was not worried about putting on a parachute at that point because he already had it on and he had the cameras going. So the viewers not only noticed that he had on the parachute already, he made no attempt to save the plane, to guide it to a safe landing area. As he was jumping out the aircraft, viewers also noted that he had a selfie stick, a camera, and he was busy filming as he was parachuting downward. The reason why people were questioning it is because if your life is in danger, the aircraft is going to crash, the last thing you think about is videotaping the entire thing. So initially he did lie to the federal prosecutors in Central District of California. So he lied to them, stating that he did not know the location of the wreckage. But according to the California Sun, 2 days after the wreckage, Jacob reported the crash to the National Transportation Safety Board. They then began an investigation and told him to preserve the site, according to the prosecutors. He also lied to the Federal Aviation Administration safety inspector. So according to the prosecutors, Jacob was told days after the crash to preserve the site and inform the National Transportation Safety Board where it was. But I guess he wanted to just hide evidence. So instead of informing the authorities where the crash site was, what he did, on December the 10th, 2021, he used a helicopter to lift the wreckage out of the Los Padres National Forest. This is now coming out, although it happened back in 2021, he was just convicted. This case was ongoing, and because of COVID, a lot of the court cases got backed up. So he was just found guilty. So the prosecutor said after he lifted the wreckage out of the forest, what he did was dismantle the plane piece by piece, a little bit at a time, in an attempt to throw off the authorities from finding out the truth. Because, you know, every plane have a black box that records everything. So earlier this year, he pleaded guilty to destruction and concealment with the intent to obstruct a federal investigation. So this was really poor judgment. You cannot want a YouTube check to that extent that you're going to put your life in danger. You're going to lie to the feds. You're going to lie to the cops. You're going to take the evidence, but you're going to come back and take the evidence so they won't get a hold of it. And then you're going to slowly dismantle the evidence and get rid of it altogether. So the investigation would not be able to find anything substantial. It's just amazing that people are so diabolical. So his attorney was asking for light sentencing. Instead of prison time, they want probation. In asking for leniency by the court, the attorney stated that at the height of the COVID outbreak, he was living in the hangar and made a series of bad choices. Notwithstanding jumping out of a plane under false pretense that the plane actually did crash when it did not, he staged it just to get clicks and views off of YouTube. Well, that's what the prosecutors say, that he did it to get clicks and views. I maintain that he did it for the insurance money, because let's think about it. He was living out of the hangar, sleeping side by side or inside the plane or outside of the plane in that enclosement. That was his home. He didn't have a place to stay. So he was homeless. If you sleeping where your plane is at, either in the plane or maybe you got a little cot roll up there on the side of the plane, you homeless. So I think he did it for the insurance money. I think he was going to file for the insurance money later on. Once he figured, he reported it and they did their investigation and didn't find anything to tie him into the crash. But he made a mistake when he put it on YouTube. And then the authorities saw the footage that he had the the camera, the cell phone, the little joystick, and he was just filming it all the way. So it looked suspicious. So I guess he thought he had gotten away with it. Instead, what he got was 6 months in prison. So in a letter to the judge, Jacob wrote that he suffered a great deal of lashback as a result of deciding to crash his plane deliberately. So I guess it's a lesson learned, not only for him, but a whole lot of other YouTubers who are thinking of doing the same thing. He told the judge in court that he carefully researched the route of the plane to make sure that it wasn't close to any homes or any trails before he crashed the plane. He also said he never should have gone through with it, and that the FAA has since reinstated his pilot's license. In April of 2022, the FAA had revoked his license and called the flight careless and reckless. Prosecutors argued a prison sentence is necessary to prevent others from attempting this type of stunt. Jacob, who's 30 years old, has pleaded guilty to a felony charge of obstructing a federal investigation. As Jacob hit the ground, he had some scrapes and bruises, and he said he was lucky to be alive. Let's take a listen.
Got my elbow. I'm just so happy to be alive.
How crazy was that, guys? I've heard people doing all kinds of crazy things, stunts, for that click and view to go viral. I've even heard of this one YouTuber who went into the dead forest in China. As long as YouTube is willing to cut checks for all kinds of stunts, this is not going to be the end. There's going to be someone else who have a bigger stunt. Guys, I'm over and out. Drop your comments. Tell me what you think about this crazy video. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.